today. People are still stuck in the pit lane. Sadly, Max, it appears, is still stuck. Got Doc Co-op there. He's staying in the pit lane. He's got a quali ban. I am now, AJ. I am. Hello, AJ. So here we are around Tokyo, south outer inner loop or something near to that effect. Hello to people in the stream already commenting. Hello to Castle, hello to Kimmy. Hello to Azure Win the 4th. And I think I've mentioned Castle, as we're already into qualifying and we're already on a lap. So let's watch Ballboy going round this track. This is, I've been practicing for nearly a couple of hours already today, and this is full-on commitment track. It's not just getting it right, it's carrying the speed as well. Way you're going to get it right. Ballboy there's coming out the hairpin. Yep, I think you missed. As someone would say, AJ, perfect England, as Ballboy's going round this corner. He's heading now to the final little chicane, which is a horrid little chicane to get right. You've got to clump the first curve absolutely spot on, and not just that, carry the speed as he's heading through the final corner. So we're going to see what the first times are. It's a 32.8 for Ballboy already. Tim behind goes 33.1. There's lots of times being set, but they seem to be further down. DWTA David, otherwise known as Ricardo Patrese, goes third. Don't be fooled by Doc Co-op. He's got a quali ban and he won't be. We start at the back. Hyder's up in 5th. Smalley is 6th. Hyder is 4th. Smalley is 5th. Ben is 6th. Pi 2 hasn't yet to be out. Grim is on his first lap. He's coming round the hairpin now. So let's see what he does here, as he's heading through what will be the fastest part of the circuit. Hello to more gaming as well, as Grim now is heading through, just about to head through the tunnel where you've got to be absolutely flat out and carry the speed as well. And he's going slightly quicker than his last lap, getting past Tim. Tim's getting out of the way. That's a good job there from Tim. As now he heads up to the final little chicane. Well, he's not really clumped the first curve, he's clumped the second curve. And now he's heading through the final corner where you've just got to keep being flatter than what you think you've got. That corner is quicker than it looks. As Grim goes 34.7 and puts himself ahead of Marco. That's a good job there from Grim. He goes 7th in the table, but actually he sits in the top 6. Hello to Lee Turner, he's out there as well. Marco's also out there. He's got a second half penalty. The barrier penalties could be a bit brutal. I think one driver from the D3 race carried 9 seconds worth of barrier penalties. Ben there in 9th. Mick is out there in 10th. Multi is down there in 11th, and then at the back you've got Robot and Max, who is struggling to get out of the pit lane still. He's currently redesigning Tokyo's walls. So Smalley's made his way up to 3rd spot. That's a good job from Smalley. He could be a bit more competitive in this race. He's managed to have the night off last night from lifting heavy things, or as he likes to call it, his wallet. But that's what happens when you earn $250,000 a year. As Ricardo Patrese goes 33.3, he goes up to 3rd. Haida improves. Haida goes up to a 33.0. And it means Ballboy's still the only guy in the 33, in 32s right now. Ben goes 34.3. That's a good effort from Ben. Tim's up there. Smalley, Klopp, who's not set the time. Graham, Marco, Mick, who's looks like he's on a better lap this time. He is on a better lap, and he stays 9th place by the looks of it. So that's a good job there from Mick. Just need to focus on just getting each turn right. Multi is in what will be 10th spot, I believe. There you've got Robot, who is still... Let's watch Robot for a little stage. Going what is now will be the fastest part of the track. It's just absolutely flat chat. You can keep it flat through these corners. And he's 1.8 seconds quicker than his current time. So he's going through that long sweeping left-hander before the new version of the Singapore sling. Clumps the first curve and avoids the second one. That's a good job there from Robot. Heading through into the final corner. He's getting quicker. That's a good line through the final corner. That's a good job there from Robot. Nice solid lap. And he's got time, I think, to get himself in the pit lane for fresh tyres and one more lap, I believe. Multi goes 36.6. So now we're watching Smalley on a new fast lap. So let's watch his lap and see how he goes. He is 2/10 under his first time going through the first sector. Works it down the first, and then he's just you want to try and get it right to the inside there. It's all about hooking the apex up. Didn't quite do it, but I get the feel that many drivers will have different approaches to that hairpin, as he's now going through the fast tunnel section into the sixth, again nearly 260 kilometers an hour. There's is now through the tunnel, and he is still up on his time, so he can still improve. That's a nice line there through that long sweeping left-hander. Heading now through the Singapore sling. That's a lot of curb. That's a lot of curb. First curb for Smalley. Might get a penalty for that. We'll soon see, as he's now heading across the line. He's lost time. He didn't improve, so he stays fifth for the moment. As now Tim is just set 33.0 by the looks of it. Is not going to improve this lap. Mick goes 36.1. So that's a good job from him. As we've got Haida. Now let's see what he can do. To the final section. Ballboy improves to a 32.6, sorry. So he just increases his gap. That's a very good time indeed from Bob Boy. As Haida now is heading through the final, one of the final long sweeping right-handers on this course, heading into the Singapore Sling. Clumps the left curb, and he just about holds on to the car. But he won't be improving his time, I don't think. Yeah, he's backed off. He's backed off. Riccardo Patrese goes front row. 32.9, that's a very good time indeed from him. Either doesn't improve. Tim will be improving on the slap. Smalley is still pushing hard to the line, isn't going to improve, so he remains 5th. Marco is just heading across the line now and is pipped to the post by his teammate. Robot goes in 6th place on the grid. That's a good job from him. Ben in 9th, Grim in 10th. Mick is on his final lap but doesn't improve. And Multi there in 12th. So there we have it. Yeah, I think that's a distinct possibility, Nels. He's certainly driving very nicely. So it's definitely a possibility. He's put himself in the mix. I'd be interested to see what strategies are. We've already got Kimmy and Castle on the chart, and AJ as well. So it'll be very interesting to see who goes on what strategy for the race, whether people do 1 stop, 2 stop. Well, Nils, the highest penalty, the highest penalties anyone had in the race on Wednesday was 9 seconds, and I think that was Dick Roberts. So let's see if anyone can beat that. I doubt they will, but then again, someone might be saying now, hold my beer. And there we have it. That's all the qualifying sorted out. You're going to have to forgive me for the start here, folks, because the camera angles are particularly pants, is what I'll describe it as. It'll be interesting to see. As you can see, the camera angle is particularly poor looking at Pullman. I've just got that, unfortunately, folks, so I'm sorry. As we are just ready for the light, and we are off and racing. Ballboy gets himself a very good start. Riccardo Patrese gets himself away as well. Haider's pulled in front of Tim. Heading through turn 1. Let's see if everyone keeps it clean. Everyone is remarkably through, but Smalley seems to have had a very bad start from 5th on the grid. And Smalley is now down to the back of the order. I'm interested to find out what's happening to him. Then this race is Marco's now looking down the inside of Haider as Carl Patrese, I think, tried the lunge and went into the wall, I think. But he's still in second. Marco's now up to 3rd, ahead of Haider. Tim's up to 5th. Co-op from the back of the grid. From the back of the grid is up to 6th. That's impressive. Robot is up in 7th, and then you've got more or less a traffic jam. Then there's a battle here between Smalley, Multi, and Grim as well, heading through the Singapore Sling chicane. Grim just absolutely mullering the curb and holding on to the inside line and through the final corner. As still, it's too close to call here. Let's see what happens now in turn 1. I don't know what happened. Might have had a very poor start. As Grim holds on to the place from Multi, and now Multi's going to have Smalley for company. The likely overtaking place is going to be into this hairpin coming up, but you've got to get it absolutely spot on and not take anyone out. Smalley is looking down the inside. Multi outbrakes himself, and he loses now place to Smalley. Smalley's now up into 10th place, so now his next target will be Grim for 9th place, so it'll be interesting to see if he can fight his way through the field. Maybe he's used strategy to help him, because I can honestly tell you I don't know what drivers are going to be run. It's going to be very much up in the air. As Crop has fallen back. Crop's fallen back, so now Ben is battling with Crop for 7th. So Crop must have had a drama somewhere. As Smalley has made a little bit of a mistake in the chicane, and yep, there you go, he's come to grief, and now he's down the back here and possibly overdriving, just needs to cool it off. There's Ball Boy there, he's now pulled away from Riccardo Patrese there in 2nd, with Marco behind him in 3rd spot. Marco's having a very, very good race here so far. He's driving very nicely. Hyder in 4th has got Tim Monster in the back of his car, clinging on to him like a cheap suit. Heading down now into Harley's hairpin. Harley likes entering the pit lane here, so that's why it's Harley's hairpin. As Hyder just about holding off Tim for now. Robot in 6th. Ben in 7th spot is keeping Doc Co-op at arm's length and doing a very, very good job of it. Just while we have while they're all battling, I'm just going to go through very quickly championship positions as they stand at the moment. It's something I think I've forgotten. So Ball Boy is out in front at the minute, he's on 44 points, Tim's 2nd on 30, Thomas 3rd on 25, Riccardo Patrese 4th on 23, got Hyder and Corp joint 5th on 21, Bagpuss on 20, and then you've got Graham Smalley on 6, Marco on 4, Hyder on 3, and Multi on 1. Constructors Championship, you've got Apocalypse Race on 95, Lee Turner Racing on 69, Gwen's Boys on 30, Ron Bollocks OP on 6, and Silverstream Racing with 4. So that is the championship positions as they stand at this current second in time before any racing's taking place. As Corp looking down the inside of Hazy into the hairpin. Robots had a bit of an incident, so now that's now Co-op into 6th spot, battling Ben, who is monstering the back end of his car. Let's see what happens here, going through the tunnel. Ben's trying to move down the inside, this is brave. Then turns to the outside line, which remains the outside line, because then there's a right-hander, he's done it. It's a great move there from Ben into 6th place. Ben's doing a very, very steady job for his team, and he's going to be picking up good points if he remains there. Marco's had an incident, he's had an off at the chicane, and that's now allowed Co-op into 5th spot. So now that is Tim up in 4th, he's monstering the back of Hyder. So See if he can make a move for third spot. Ricardo Patrese is holding on to the back of Ballboy here at the second time, and he's doing a reasonable job of it. He's not allowing Ballboy to get away here. Now we're heading to the Harley's hairpin. The gap it's remained steady, but you can see it's just got a bit. It's holding steady for now. I'll be interested to see what happens as time goes on. Hyder third, Tim fourth, and then Quap and Ben are still having a mighty squabble for fifth spot now as it is. Ben is he's doing really well here. He's having a very, very good battle with Quap, and he's doing a very, very good job. Heading through this long right-hander towards the end of the lap. Up in the fifth spot. Marco's down to seventh now. As they're now Muller in the curbs. Marco's getting his car very, very loose. Still there hanging on to the seventh spot at the minute. Robot and Grim are now resuming their sword duel from the other week. As now Grim goes down the inside. Oh no! Oh no, that was a... Grim let Robot go, which is good, fair racing, but that was unlucky. As now Ben carries on, following Quap round the aisles, and he's now having a look down the inside at the hairpin, and he's made the move stick, and now Marco's getting in on this action. So now let's see what happens here with these three drivers. Ben's got track position at the minute, but the other two have slipstream. And now Marco's up and down the inside of Quap, and he's got him. That's a great move there from Marco into sixth spot. And the holding steady, and Marco's got in place. That's good driving there from these two. So now let's see if Marco can make any difference on Ben. About 8 tenths back. This midfield three are very, very closely packed. Through turn one, Co-op just sliding the back end a little bit. Oh, Marco's run wide. It's so easy done into that left-right there. And that's allowed Quap to regain sixth place. So now Marco is having a look around the outside into the hairpin. Quap is trying to defend from. They're going to meet somewhere in the middle any second. Slight tap from Quap. And it's still side by side. Them battling's allowed Ben to get away in fifth. This is tremendous racing so far from this midfield duo, and you've got Robot in the background ready to get involved. Commentator extraordinaire. As we're still side by side, Marco's now just about got ahead, and now Robot's having a look down the inside as an interested spectator. He doesn't quite make the move stick. So now we've got Robot having another look down the inside. Quap shuts the door like Robot's an uninvited guest, which I suppose he is. He heads through the final corner, and now he's pulling away a little bit. And now he's getting closer to Marco again. Another round of wreckfest. I suppose so it is, Ivor, and hello to you, sir. And now Marco is just about holding off Co-op. Robot Nate Smalley's managed to regain his position back up to 9th, Multi 10th. Mick has 7.1 seconds worth of penalties. He's doing alright at this stage in terms of penalties. He's doing alright as well in terms of track pace. He's not really miles away from a point or two. Grim, I think he's had an incident last lap, hence why he's down to 12th. There's now Ricardo Patrese has gained the lead now. He's gone into second ahead of Ballboy. Ballboy had an incident a couple of laps ago. So that now puts Ricardo Patrese at the head of the field. And you've got Hyder up there in third as well, doing this very, very steady job. Keeping himself and his nose out of trouble for once. Tim up there in fourth spot as well, doing a good job. He's a little bit redundant. He's a couple of seconds back from Hyder. And he's about 8 seconds back from 8 seconds ahead of Ben. There he is, and he's now got Marco and Co-op for company. So here we go, Marco's having a look down the inside into turn 1. Oh no, running wide, but Marco makes a place, he's up to 5th. And now Co-op is still doggedly persistent. And around the long left-hander, heading now down into the head, and we've got our first pit stopper, it's Hyder. Hyder is in from 3rd. Now we go round the hairpin. Marco's in. Marco's the next one to take the pit. As is Smalley. There might be a few people going for a 1-stop here. A few people going for a 2 by the looks of it. There's a support there for Ricardo Patrese in front. There's no Ben and Co-op. Look at this. They are separated by what is the proverbial cigarette paper. He's now heading through the long left-hander. They're a 10th or so back. Let's see what happens now into Singapore Singh chicane. His Co-op is trying to hold on to him in the final corner, but he's not quite doing it. But Slipstream has proven very, very powerful around here. So let's see what goes here for Co-op into turn 1. And still very, very close. Both understeering at the same point. So now let's see what happens going round the long left-hander. Ben's going to try and defend into the hairpin. Co-op's going to try and make the move around the outside, but eventually they'll all meet up in one place. So let's see what happens. Co-op is... Oh, he's made the move stick. Ben just got his tail end a little bit happy to come out Harley's hairpin. So now that's him down 6th as Hyder now makes place up on fresh tyres. As meanwhile up front, Ricardo Patrese has been closed in by Ballboy. This gap is now less than a second. So now this is going to be a battle for the lead. This battle is now joined heading through the final corner. Japanese Baku. That's a... Yep, I'll go along with that. It's there's just no castle section. As now, let's see what Ricardo Patrese's defences are like. Through turn 1 and through the whole first few turns, and now down to the hairpin. So let's see what Ballboy can do. Having a look, can he make the move stick? Yeah, this is closer to the hairpin. But Ricardo Patrese holds on, he keeps the lead. So now it's going to be, he's putting through this little faster section. By the looks of it, I'd say Riccardo Patrese is a little bit quicker in this section at the minute. But it's all about trying to stay in the slipstream and try and keep yourself with a possibility of staying close. But the second time, Riccardo Patrese is doing a very, very good job of actually defending. Yes, I get what you mean. As now he's just pulling out his gap a little bit here. He's got a gap up to just over a second. He's running different lines to try and just break the slipstream effect for Boboy heading through turn 1. Just while they've got a bit of a lull, Tim, I feel like I've hardly mentioned him in this race. He's in third and he's just doing a very solid job at the minute. That's a good effort there from Tim. Hyder's now got up to fourth ahead of Klopp and ahead of Hazy. As Multi is up to seventh, he's on a one stop. Marco is in eighth and he's on 2 stops. As we've got the first of the one stoppers, Riccardo Patrese is in. He's in from the lead as well. So it'll be interesting to see what he does here to go to the end, if he goes to the end of the race or not. Tim now has worked his way up to second, Hyder's worked his way up to third. Klopp fourth, Ben is fifth, and there you have it. That's a full tank there for Riccardo Patrese, and he's now back out on track. So he's stopped directly halfway on this race. He's a little bit on his own on track at the minute, so he could be able to make clean air work for him. He's having a little bit of fun there through the chicane. Hyder in third, Tim is second, Ball Boys first. So just to go through the rest of the order in a minute, there you have it. Mick is in 12th, Robot is in 11th, Smalley is 10th. We've got a bit of a battle going here between Multi and Grim, and Smalley of course. But by the looks of it, I'd say that the other guys have not stopped yet. Multi hasn't stopped and Grim and Smalley have. So they're sort of in direct race. Grim is just outbreaking himself a little bit into turn 1. As Tim and Ballboy are now in the pit lane. So the guy to watch will be Riccardo Patrese, see if he can make the undercut work. As Grim's worked his way past Multi now. Worked his way past now down into the bottom hairpin. As Multi is working his way into the pit lane. Co-op's in and also Ben's in as well. So Riccardo Patrese's made the strategy work. He's ahead of Ballboy, but his tyres will be 1 lap older. So it'll be interesting to see if he can keep them ahead, keep them alive. Whilst Hydo's out in front, he's on a 2-stop. At the minute, and like I said, somewhere in the middle they're going to meet towards the end of this race. So, Tracy second, Ballboy third, Tim fourth, Marco's up in 5th spot now. But Marco, I believe, he's got a mixture of 1 and 2 stoppers round here at the minute. I think it's whatever. I think the strategy will be at the minute, just whatever you feel most comfortable with. 6th, Smalley 7th, Co-op is in 8th, Robot 9th, Ben is 10th, and then you've got Mick and Multi now at the back. A cheer for Pike. Pike, he's not in the race unfortunately. Dusky. Seems like he's having a problem with his glitching earlier on, which is unfortunate. Says hi, he's working his way through the chicane. He's 10 seconds ahead now of Riccardo Patrese. Just breaking away ever so slightly from Ball Boy, and then you've got Tim in 4th. Marco in 5th. So some of these guys are going to have better tyres come the end of the race. Everyone seems to have spread out a little bit. The closest people on track seem to be Grim and Smalley. Smalley is a second and a half back from Grim. Co-op and Robot are a little bit further back from each other, so we'll have to see if Smalley can gain time on Grim. Heading up into Harley's hairpin. Expecting to see people in the pit lane either at the end of this lap or next. Sorry, next lap or the next lap after. As you can just see, Smalley gaining on Grim. Too far back to do anything just at the second in time. Mark in 5th, Tim in 4th, Ball Boy in 3rd spot, about a second and a half behind Riccardo Patrese, and Hyder is 11 seconds in front now of his teammates. So when he pits, which I'm guessing will be very, very shortly, interested to see where he comes out. So Haida carries on for another lap. I'm expecting him to be end of next lap. Carl Patrese in 2nd. He's holding Tim steady at the minute. Sorry, Ball Boy steady at the minute. Here in turns holding Tim very steady. Marco in 5th doing the steady job. And Smalley and Grim are in, so these are the first of the two stoppers in. Driven by fuel, I would say Smalley has come out behind Grim. But now all of a sudden on very cold tyres are now they're having to race each other straight away side by side, heading through the tunnel. So it's now going to be who gets a nose in front first. Smalley is still just about holding off. And Smalley gets a place. Smalley gets a place ahead of Grim. Yeah, Hyder is definitely showing some decent pace. He's in the pit lane now. And you've got his teammate heading through the hairpin. Interesting to see where Hyder comes out. Tim, there goes Tim. There's Hyder. Hyder's into 4th. As Marco is now in the pit lane as well. So Haida could be the walk for the rest of this race. See if he can work his way past Tim and Ballboy stays second and a half away from Riccardo Patrese, and he's still doing a very solid job. Haida in fourth. Court has now worked his way in fifth spot. Robot is in sixth spot. And then you've got in seventh Ben. All the midfield section have just separated out a little bit. Marco in 8th, Smalley 9th, Grim in 10th. Multi still working his way around 11th spot. And Mick, he's 5.2, it could be worse. I was expecting a lot worse penalties in this race, so that's alright. As now Ballboy is now trying to make his assault on Riccardo Patrese. But he's got to shave off more of a penalty than what Patrese has. Tim in third spot. It's just sitting there. If these two clash, he could be in line to take advantage. Haida in fourth, so let's see what he does. Interestingly, he did his fastest lap on the lap before he pitted, which is interesting to note. Also now comes in. See, Haida's already at 10th up, 10th purple as well on fastest time. He's just brushing the wall ever so slightly. That's a 33-1, so he's there, he's keeping himself in range for Tim, but I think it might be too much to try and catch Ballboy and Riccardo Patrese, who are there's a second still separating them, so this is something still to keep an eye on for now. Heading through Harley's hairpin. Riccardo Patrese's got rid of all these penalties now, whereas Ballboy hasn't quite got rid of his penalties. Patrese's taking a wider line, interestingly, than Ballboy at the minute. And the gap it's just about remaining steady, around 8/10 to a second. Through the final chicane. Through the final corner, so now the gap is it's coming down. So the pressure is just starting to intensify on Riccardo Patrese a little bit from Ballboy. As now Haida's now going round the outside of Tim and gets him, but hits the wall in the process, and now he's got a penalty to contend with. As Tim is now just keeping himself in check. But now you can see the fresher tyres having an impact. As Haida can now pull away from Tim. Quat in 5th. Ben 6th, Marco 7th, being closed up a little bit by Smalley. Grim in 9th, and Lodi and Robot are about to start the scrap for 10th spot. As Riccardo Patrese is pulling away now from Ballboy. It's about a second now, the gap. This is going to be very, very close. Haida is could be now in play. Now he's got ahead of Tim, so it's going to be interesting to note how quick Hyder can catch these other two. With fresher rubber. And round the final corner now comes Ballboy. Tracy's using the wider line, whereas Ballboy is using the tighter line. So maybe that's something Ballboy wants to look at. We are looking at a very, very tight finish. Now Tracy comes through Harley's hairpin. He's keeping the gap steady, but Ballboy seems to be a little bit quicker through this part of the lap. But he needs to be a bit closer to have a go. The gap is coming down. It's getting tighter. It's now side by side. Can Ballboy make the move stick? Yes, he can. That's a great move. But it's now going to be can Tracy get close enough to him? He can it. So now that's Ballboy into the lead. He's just made a fantastic move around the outside there of Riccardo Patrese. That is an excellent move there from Ballboy. Let's see if Riccardo Patrese can stay close to Ballboy and try and make some kind of final lap attack. There is 4 or so laps remaining, so it is entirely possible. Hyder isn't really closing in on these two. Seems to be dropping back a little bit. Now into Harley's hairpin. Ballboy is sliding his car into that hairpin. But he's gaining time. He's just starting to pull away now. His tyres they're actually more worn than Riccardo Patrese, and he's been on them tyres one that longer. So that tells you how much tyre that he uses. His Hyder in third as well. The gap is just starting to extend out. You've got to say now, barring a mistake, Ballboy should be able to ride the storm out and just break out of the slipstream. We've got Hyder in third spot. Tim is up to fourth. In fourth now. Co-op in fifth. So that's all the Apocalypse Racing in the top 5. That's a good job for that team. As now we've got Ben and Marco battling for 6th spot. So now let's see what happens here as Marco's looking around the outside. Ooh, a little bit of contact, but nothing severe. As now Marco's looking back down the inside into the bus stop chicane, the Singapore Sling, whatever you want to call it. And Marco's gone ahead of Ben, but Smalley's there as well for company. Let's just keep an eye on this battle, because this is looking like it'll be a tight finish as well. As Marco is now having Ben hound him, but in theory should be able to pull away on fresher tyres. In fact, yeah, they're slightly fresher than Ben's. I just wanted to check that out, as Ben is now looking down the inside of Marco, just not quite enough to make a move stick. As now Marco should be able to make his advantage count. Smalley in 8th, Grim is in 9th, still in 9th. Robot is claiming the final point in 10th. Multi and Mick is still circulating around in 12th spot. Meanwhile, the top three have now, it's closed up here. Hyder is closing in on Riccardo Patrese here. So that could get very close come the final lap. I'll keep an eye on that gap as time heads on. Tim there in 4th, Co-op 5th, Marco is 6th, and now Ben's getting all sideways out of the final chicane, and that's allowed Smalley past. Smalley's in 7th, but if Ben stays in range, he can claim that place back with Smalley having got a bit of penalty to get rid of. With this being the penultimate lap now, so let's see as Smalley is heading through left and right turns, it's very, very close. Heading down now into Harley's hairpin. Ben's up and down the inside, but he's just a little bit too far back. Soon maybe move stick. But he has remained in slipstream range. As we're about to head on to the final lap. So can Ben regain this place off Smalley? Smalley's had to work hard to get back through the field. Ben is looking to the move around the outside of Smalley. He's not quite far enough ahead to make the move stick. Smalley now in 7th spot. Ben is just, he's trying too hard now. As we're heading on to the final lap. This ball boy is just now, he's increased the gap out to Riccardo Patrese, and you've got Hyder there in 3rd. This is very, very close between the top 3. This is very, very close indeed. But Hyder does have a penalty to scrub off and get rid. As everyone, I think, is running out close on fuel. It's running very, very close on fuel for Ballboy. Heading now for the final time through this long right-hander. Made a fantastic move on Riccardo Patrese a few laps ago, and he's not looked back. So now as Ballboy's heading through the final sector, working his way through the final few turns, and he's going to claim yet another victory. And it's a very good job indeed for Ballboy, who crosses the line and claims victory in Division 2. Hyder is up in the 2nd. What's happened to Tracy? Tracy's dropped back. He crosses the line 3rd and Tim crosses 4th. He must have made a mistake in the final corner. Oh no. Tracy ran out of fuel. Marco claims 6th. Ben gets out ahead of his battle with Smalley, which was great to see. Grim is heading through the final few turns. He's going to claim 9th spot. There he goes across the line. Good points for him. Robot will finish 10th. Multi is coming around now to finish 11th spot. There he goes across the line. And here comes Mick to finish off the runners as he heads runs wide in the final chicane. He's going to head round the final corner as he's now got 9.2 seconds worth of penalties as he now heads across the line in 12th spot. So there we have it. That's your finishing order. And a good job from Boy and all the guys from this race. Division 1 will be at 7 o'clock, and our Spanish friend Danny will be commentating, so please check that out. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.